27, Justice for Tyrone West, and Justice for all victims of police brutality. Tawanda, it's all you.
Thank you so much. And yeah, so we're here not just for my big brothers, but just like my queen said, for all the victims of police brutality. We have no special guest tonight, but stay tuned as we play the video that we always play whenever we're online, and we'll be right back momentarily. Mic check.
Mic check.
Can't stop, won't stop, till killer cops are in cell blocks. Can't stop.
The following video portrays an incident of assault and violence at the hands of police. Viewer discretion is advised.
I suggest you back the fuck up. No,
why you
This is Baltimore City Police Officer Jorge Bernardes Ruiz. In a video shot in 2016, Ruiz is seen with his knee on the back of an unknown man with a gun pointed at the man's head. His message was a clear one. Concerned onlookers, adhere to my dictates or else. Here, we can hear Ruiz saying to Baltimore residents,
I suggest you back the fuck up.
It is documented that Baltimore police officer Jorge Bernardes Ruiz is a repeat violent offender, even without access to all complaints against Ruiz, undisclosed by BPD Internal Affairs records. 6 cases involving Ruiz are known. This video will briefly highlight 6 total cases beginning in July of 2013. Case 1, Abdul Salam, July 1st, 2013. Here Salam is seen victoriously smiling in celebration after the jury found Ruiz and 2 other cops liable for brutality against him. However, because the trial was civil, not criminal, Ruiz was not fired and he did not go to jail.
Police profiled me. They followed me in the back of my house, harassing me. Police proceeded to violently and hostilely approach my van with me and my son in it. As I announced, this was my home, guns drawn. Once they reached my vehicle, they violently pulled me out, ramshacked my vehicle with my 3-year-old son strapped in his car seat, threw me against the gate, slammed me repeatedly. Picked me up by my feet, and while I'm upside down, they proceeded to drop me on my head, hog-tie me, and immediately when I fell on my head, Ruiz, in a wrestling type of action, and kind of hit his knee against my neck. I was arrested. I had no idea what I was being arrested for. My son is scarred to this day. He remembers the incident as it happened yesterday. When he talks about it, he always refers to daddy being on the floor with police yesterday.
Case 2, Darrell Harris, profiled, as seen in this video, July 17th, 2013.
Yeah, Sid, what's wrong with it? Improper way with it. There's no such thing as an improper way.
You gonna tell me my job, bro?
I know the law.
Are you gonna tell me the law?
I know the law.
You gonna tell me the law?
I know the law. What's the problem? You giving me a ticket? You need my license registration?
Yeah, let me get it up.
The profile, y'all use the seatbelt as a reason. Profile.
Do me a favor, take out your keys.
Yeah, you can record me. For what? Nah. I don't feel safe right now. Do you want me to step out the car? Do you want me to step out the car? I'll step out the car. Call the police, man. What do you call a supervisor? I brought the new shit. This is getting uploaded to the internet right now. Yeah?
And we are 2 law-abiding citizens that we're getting targeted, and I don't know why.
Just 24 hours later, Bernardes Ruiz played a leading role in the police killing of unarmed Tyrone West. Case number 3, the murder of Tyrone West, July 18th, 2013.
My brother Tyrone West was brutally murdered on July the 18th, 2013.
In both of these cases, when you look at the pleadings and the harsh language of these officers that have been quoted to me by reliable witnesses, the N-word.
And Killer Ruiz and Killer Chapman and the rest of those 11 and 15 killers, including David Lewis, took something from my family that they could never give us again. And that was my brother Tyrone West, one unarmed man who was brutally murdered, beat to death in broad daylight.
Mic check.
Mic check.
So guys, thank you guys for tuning in. This is West Wednesday week 627. Sorry that we don't have any special guests tonight, and sorry that we're not out in the streets. But I'm still under the weather. I had this like little viral thing that's going on, and I literally had it since last Friday, early morning Saturday, and yeah, it's just taking this to scream. It's taking a scream big bad on me right now. So I mean, but at the end of the day, I can handle my own. But for the most part, I'm good. But anyway, just watching that video that we share, it's just very sickening to me seeing, it, like everything that happened to my brother, and literally with the witnesses and the fact that Darrell Harris was literally targeted and attacked 24 hours before my brother. So literally, if you think about when Abdul Salam was attacked in his own neighborhood with his son in the backseat of his car, and then that was on like July the 2nd sometime, and then you go into 24 hours before, and there's Darrell. And literally all they had to do was place Killer Ruiz and Chapman on desk duty. Put them behind the desk. Let them file some papers. Better yet, put them in a cell block. That would have been even better. But my whole point is the fact that they failed to do anything but let these animals run wild and brutally execute my big brother Tyrone West is sickening. And I'm so disheveled in my thoughts and everything, because literally as I was driving home from work, I saw a man that was riding a bicycle. And when I say his whole stature, complexion, the dreadlocks, everything reminded me so much of my brother. I had to literally pull over and shed a few tears to get myself back together, literally. And that's why I'm a few minutes late, because then I had to run to the store, things like that. But at the end of the day, it's just so sad that, we constantly keep fighting, constantly, nonstop, but yet brutality is still happening, it's still real. And tonight, when we read the sad list, we're going to also talk about a young lady that pretty much was, we figured that was killed like Sandra Bland. Like, come on now. And then I always think about the month of July, and even though we're ready to close July, but July, literally to me, is always like the deadliest month, where like the rates of police brutality just like go skyrocket high, and it's sad and disgusting, and it just makes me sick to my stomach every time I think about it. I have to relive this nightmare. But this is something that nobody family signs up to a club and says, hey, I want to be a part of a club where your loved one is brutalized or murdered and nobody's held accountable. It's disgusting. And then I look back at memories that I always share. I look back on this day, years ago is when I had my name taken off my brother's estate for the sole purpose of trying to seek accountability without being silenced, and it's just sad that, the system is designed and set up that way. They think, and I'll never forget when we met at the time with the mayor, she literally told me and my friends and some of the West Coalition, family members that, you got accountability. We did get accountable. First, she acted like she didn't know me, but yeah, when she was out there, her little political thing, trying to get, it voted into office. She was the main one. Oh, if I get back in the office, your brother deserves this case to be reinvestigated and people need to be held accountable. I watch how you guys fight, all this foolishness. But then when it's come time to really show up and show out, they don't never do it. And it's just sad and it's sick. It's like, how many? We're talking about 627 weeks. That's a very long time to do anything. That's quite, to be quite frank, that's a very long time to do anything. And then to have so many people lie and, you just go through the Doug and Pony show and you go through so much and it seemed like you gotten a little bit far, but you got so much further to go. And that's the sickening part. It's like almost trying to climb uphill. And you're like, okay, I'm looking back where I came from. I definitely got up a little bit, but then looking up where you need to be, and it's like, wow, I still got a whole lot of climbing to do. But I'm willing to do it. If they have not seen anything else but nonstop me fighting for accountability, my friends, my family members, just fighting nonstop for a fight that nobody signs up for. Police brutality is real, guys. And the saddest part, they try to break us up and they'll make it seem like, oh, community violence is over here. And if you do anything else besides talking about the police killing us and brutalizing us, they'll give you grants, they'll give you loans, they'll give you vehicles, they'll give you everything. But at the end of the day, that still ain't accountability. We want accountability, but when you're talking about police brutality, you get nothing but disrespected and you're unprotected. That's all you get. That's all you get. Nothing more, nothing less. And it's sickening. It really is. But I will never sell my soul to the devil. I will never, stop this fight because it's real. At the end of the day, we done lost so many warriors that were standing on the front line with us that are no longer here with us. Every time I think about our beautiful queen, Nicole, she was fighting for not only her husband's her father-in-law, Anthony Anderson, she was also fighting for her beautiful baby girl, a 16-year-old daughter that was murdered. And now she's no longer here. And it's just sad. Like, it's so many people that I stood by that we done held hands in this fight. We done cried together. Like, I even had police officers, former police officers that say, hey, this system is dirty. Pastor Steve Turner, who was blackballed, he stood there and he fought like hell, And he told us and showed us how racist the Baltimore City Police Department was, and he's no longer here. Like, it's just so sad. I remember our beautiful queen, Paula Muhammad, that would come and sing at the drop of a dime to sing with us, her and her husband. She's no longer here. Like, it's so many people that we have lost that are no longer here. Like, even my own family members, Tavon Anderson, my uncle Clifton Anderson, like, the list goes on. Like, at the end of the day, we need accountability and we need it now. We're long overdue for this. It's almost as if we're starving for it. And literally while we're starving, they're throwing us crumbs. You get better little sweet little moments where, oh, you feel like you're winning, or you feel like, oh, I'm finally being heard. And then it's this big stop, and then nothing moves. And then time comes in between. Justice delayed is justice denied. It's just like, how many years? Like, how much more? How many more people got to get brutalized? How many people got to get killed before we say enough is truly enough? Like, at the end of the day, nobody family deserves to be brutally murdered or anything. Like, it's sad. It's really sad and it's disgusting. And if I don't see any other time to actually try to get it right, is now. And we have a hearing coming up that I feel like everybody should be a part of. And it's coming up in August the 27th on a West Wednesday. Trust and believe me, I'm going to be there. Like, literally, I had to take off work yesterday because I wasn't feeling well. I had to, and I'm still not feeling well, but I had to go into work today, not feeling 100%, but knowing that I have to work to make sure I take care of my family and my personal needs and things of that nature. But nevertheless, I will be in the building on August the 27th. Because before you know it, time is flying. Like, yeah, I know we're almost out of July and, you know, August is coming up, but we have a lot of work to do. And to me, to be honest, I'm kind of sick of the Doug and Pony show because I just showed up. We have showed up, not just I. We have showed up for so many town hall meetings. We have voiced our concerns. We gave prime examples as to why something should go one way and not the other. And literally, what happens? Nothing. They don't do anything. The only thing that seems like happen when we go to certain town hall meetings, if I drive, my car tires get slashed. Like what? Like, this is real. But it's not going to stop or hinder us from fighting for accountability. But nobody should have to fight this hard. And right now, the fate of my brother's case is in Anthony Brown's hands. You know, because at the end of the day, this is like everybody's kicking the can down the road. This could have easily been an easy fix because you have credible eyewitnesses that saw one unarmed man being brutally executed. There was video footage of my brother. We're talking about a whole decade ago. You know, and nobody's doing anything. All they doing is trying to wait for witnesses to die off. They want the case to get weaker and weaker because it's like the Pandora box. Once you open it, all these jokers gonna start falling. But I'm so glad. I'm so happy that everything that I've been screaming, standing on lonely corners with or without folks. And thank God I have been with folks, even if it's maybe less than 5 people, up to 5,000 people, up to 500. It doesn't matter. But my whole point is they're finally listening. When I first was telling everybody, oh, it's somebody broke in my brother's house after they murdered him, it looked like it was a house raid, da-da-da-da-da. Nobody believed me. They like looked at me like I had an eyeball in the middle of my forehead. Like, what are you talking about? Officers would never, ever break in someone's home, rob them, do this, that, and the third. No. And come to find out, the Gun Trace Task Force. And if you focus in, who was part of that Gun Trace Task Force? Killer Ruiz. And he gets a free Willie pass because he's married to Michelle Battle in the state's attorney's office. And every time I come on and I throw these killers under the bus, you better believe me, they not happy about it. They doing any and everything that they can to try to get back. But they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop me. Like, it is crazy, the foolishness that we have to endure. You know, I heard the saying in the Bible verse, weeping may endure for the night, but joy comes in the morning. I'm ready for the morning. I done weeped and weeped and weeped and weeped. I'm ready for my joy. I'm ready for my joy. I'm ready for my joy. And joy to me is when those killer cops are thrown in a cell block. That's my joy. Being a part of different documentaries, I'm talking about all type of documentaries. The list goes on. I can't even name so many. You know, like sitting down at the table talking to people that's making the laws, doing every and anything that I can humanly do in this human body right here. And still you get little breaks. And it's not enough. I'm tired of crumbs. We need a whole meal. We need this meal to be rolling nice and hot. Killer cops in the cell blocks. That's the meal I want. You know, it's sad. Like, everybody deserves accountability. And if what happened to my brother, if my brother would have did any of that stuff to any one of those maniac killers that decided to murder him, you would have never saw my brother again. He would have been thrown underneath of a cell block. But in the case, when it's these killer cops, they get to do whatever they want to do. And we have to fight like hell to hold them accountable. Excuse my language. We have to really fight. But I'm in it for the long term. You know, I'm not in it because I asked for it. I'm in it to win it. And winning means that we secure prosecution. We secure the fact that everybody will get to be able to be safe in our communities without worrying about senseless violence or a killer cop pulling you over, harassing you or murdering you or running in your house. Like, where in America are you safe? And that's what I always ask myself. You're not safe in your home. You're not safe at school. You're not safe in a church. Like, where are you literally safe at? I've been asking myself this for the past decade and have not gotten a proper response. I know so many friends that are cool and close to me that said, you know what? I'm ready to leave America. I don't want to take it. I'm ready to leave. Enough is enough. But literally, where can you go that's really safe? When I've been asking myself, where in America can you go that's safe? I don't have the answer. But all I know is we have to secure ourselves, and to me, and that's holding folks accountable. That's the only way we can secure anything, is hold folks accountable, hold ourselves accountable, and do what we got to do to make sure that nobody goes through this type of stuff. This is heartbreaking. It's disgusting. It's everything. It's the makeup of something that nobody wants to endure. Like, nobody wants to endure this, and we shouldn't have to. So before I go any further, I want to check in to see if we got any questions or comments, or do anybody here in the coalition want to say anything? Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Would you like me to read comments first?
Sure.
All right, so we have Bruce said, good evening, everyone, and then mic check. Angela said, good evening. Judah said, mic check. Bruce said, these scenes bring back so many memories from years past. Angela said, mic check. AC Britt said, mic check. And Mainism said, mic check. So that's all we have for comments today so far.
Awesome. Thank you. Mic check, everybody. Hey, everybody. You guys for tuning. Thank y'all so much. And yeah, like I was saying, and I'm sorry for scrambling, but it's just so much that's going on. It's just like, I even sometimes feel social. You never know. You never know. Like, you could be having the greatest day in the world, then you go on, and then you see suddenly somebody that you know is gone, no longer here. And it don't even have to be like with police brutality. It's just real with just everything that's happening in the world. From us losing baby angels. I'll never forget, I was on my way, getting ready to go out on a date and have the best time of my life. And I go on social media for 2 seconds, go ahead and post my picture. And then I see parents post that one of my babies is gone. I'm like, are you kidding me? Her and her best friend died in a car crash. Serenity and Barely. That tore me to pieces. And I'm still devastated about it. Like, it's just unreal. Like, even when I went on Facebook, and I literally remember the night before saying a nice post that Nicole had made, and she was literally talking about, if people can't get together, and like, she pretty much talking about her baby father had passed away. Her son's father passed away, and she's like, guys, we can't take life for granted type of thing. And then she said something so profound at the end of the video. She was like, somebody told me that if we can't come together and celebrate, God will pull us together and cry. And that was like, whoa, that was so deep. And then literally, I go back on, and I think it was my brother Marcus literally hit me on Facebook and said, Nicole passed away. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I nearly lost my mind. So, like, at the end of the day, we have to take care of each other. First, you got to take care of yourself. Like, we are in a spiritual warfare, and it's not the West Wednesday talking. This, because, everybody not religious, and I respect that. But as for me, I see it as we are in a spiritual warfare right now. And we just need to tighten up and just do right. Live and love each other. So we have enough of depressing stuff going on. Every moment you get a chance, try to celebrate. People are like, oh, why you go out so much, this, that, and the third. It's about living, baby. It's about enjoying yourself while you are here. It's about making meaningful memories. You never can laugh too much with your friends. You never can laugh too much with your family. You never can take too many pictures. Like literally, I take a picture every day, and I gotta wear a uniform at my new job. I'm like, oh my god, this ain't even fun, ain't nothing cute about it. But I'm like, this is life, you know. Life is revolving doors, like it opens, closes, all that. But we just have to endure it, be there for each other, love up on each other. We gotta give love, guys. There's enough of hate in this world. We have to be the loving ones. I know it's hard and tough, and who feels like loving when it seems like everything is going downhill? But that's what gets us through. Literally, that's what gets us through. And a big shout out to the West Coalition, because the things that nobody here can be. I wish I had a bank account that I'm paying you to do this. I'm paying Rachel to put this on, and I'm going to give Uncle Bill and then Hillary this and that and that. I wish I could. Maybe one day, hopefully, prayerfully. But yeah, but it's real. So a big shout out to like people just taking their time, showing love, showing life. Like that's what it's about. Like that's all it's about. Showing love, living, enjoying each other, enjoying every moment. Like I'm literally in there. It makes you kind of feel like sometimes you take life for granted a little, because I remember last weekend when I left my job, I literally was complaining because I was going through my women cramps, and I'm like, oh my god, I was like, you would thought the world was over. I knew I was going to get all like feeling all sick and stuff. The cramps was enough, and I was like, you got to be kidding me. So it makes you feel like shouldn't complain, just enjoy. Just enjoy it. Enjoy every second of it. So I wanted to see if Uncle Bill, do you want to add on or say anything before I check in with the questions and comments?
Yes, I was going to say this later.
Okay.
I was going to say this later when we do the list of people whose lives have been stolen by police, but this is probably a good moment. So one of the activists, Gretchen, she reminded us that there's someone whose life was in all likelihood stolen by the police, but they're not including her on the list because they're claiming she committed suicide. So this is a case very much like Sandra Bland in Texas, where she was strong-minded, she was powerfully anti-racist. She had given a speech on Facebook just like, I don't know, days before this happened. And Sandra Bland, they claim, hung herself in her cell in Texas after a police stop of her car. And so the case in New York was on July the 5th, and the woman's name is Sanaya Cheatham. And the New York Police Department said that she died by suicide in a precinct in Bronx, New York. Precincts in New York are the police stations. On the other hand, the family is demanding an investigation because they don't accept that idea. So we're going to consider her one of those who, in all likelihood, unfortunately, had her life stolen by the police. Perhaps we can repeat after I say her name. Sanaya Cheatham.
Sanaya
Cheatham.
All right. So I just wanted to talk about that this evening. Back to you, Tawanda.
Oh, thank you. And then I also wanted to tell you what I would like get into my family's personal business, but I had a loved one that literally was pretty much arrested for doing nothing, being like brutalized by a stalker, and literally trying to defend her own self, you know, make sure her and her kids were straight on a way to work type of thing. But my whole point is, I remember when she got incarcerated, and I remember my sister saying, hey, sis, do you want to go down there and make sure she's okay? Because I wanted to, but I didn't want to take nobody out the way. And I'm in my mind, how in the world am I going to get all the way out there? She said it, and we went down there. I'm telling you guys, you have to check up on your loved ones. You can't go by the script. You can't wait till they call back. You have to, because I feel like, God forbid, if we wouldn't have went down there, my cousin could have possibly been another Sandra Bland. Like, it's real. Like, literally went down there in the spot that we go into the precinct. Mind you, they're holding her in the precinct illegally. Holding her in the precinct, interrogating her when they knew she had a paid attorney. Forcing putting stuff, I mean, crazy stuff. And literally when we go in there, like, I'm telling you, Like, it was crazy. So I just set out to say, check on your loved ones. Don't take their word. Don't just do stuff over the phone. Like, unfortunately, I know a lot of things now, especially in society, we can just, like, you can meet your loved one on the phone. You could do this on the phone and also, but no, certain things you have to put boots on the ground and be like, let me go check on them. Let me go make sure something ain't right. If you feel like something ain't right, baby, check up on it, follow up on it. Go there. Present, represent. And I'm so glad, and I love my white friends because they give me white privilege. I'm telling you, like, it feels good to be a Black African American woman that loves being Black. Don't get it twisted. Wasn't traded in for the world. But I love when my white friends let me use their white privilege. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. So big shout out. Like, I love it. So, but in this time that we're in, you have to utilize every blessing, everything that God bless you with to use them tools, baby. Use those tools. Pull every tool you have toolbox and use it and utilize it to the best of your ability, because you never know, it could be saving your life, it could be saving somebody else's life. You have to use what God gives you. You have to. Like, it's mandatory. You have to. Like, literally use all of your tools. And like when I see Xavier Hill's mother, Latoya, fighting like hell, like fighting. Her only son was murdered. She could have just said, you know what? These lawyers not taking my son case, and I'm going to be telling you guys because I want us to lobby around her. I want us to show up for her in September, show up and show out. This beautiful queen has put in all the legwork, footwork, and I'll be sharing more about it. We need y'all to show up and show out. This is how you fight this dirty system. When they think, oh, they got you in a trick bag, that things will stop. Nah, baby, you show them, y'all think it stopped, but this what we doing. Y'all might not be doing this, but this is what I'm going to do. It's what I'm going to do, literally. Because you think about all our forefathers and ancestors that literally died just so we can be where we are, and it still seems like we stuck in America. You know what I mean? Like, you're supposed to be free, but we still fighting for our freedom. We still fight for basic laws just to treat us like human beings. But imagine if our ancestors didn't fight. Imagine that. Imagine that. Like, it's just so much happening. And I don't know if you guys are following the research, but I heard recently it was this young Black guy, and thank God he's in hiding, but he pretty much found a way to literally turn plastic into for like planes, cars, diesel, fuel, all that. Just out of literally plastic, and he shows it like he created this stuff in his own backyard. But it's since when you're going up against a capitalist system, the death threats come. And for a minute they thought he was murdered, but his mother announced that she still got him in hiding type of thing, that he's good. And I was like, okay, thank goodness, because my heart was really skipping beats. But like I said, you had to be on point because we are dealing with this capitalist, dirty system that don't care anything about you. So we have to fight. We have to be the difference. We are the difference. So with that being said, I'm going to check back in one more time before we go to our sad list. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check. We have just one more comment from Super Cardio. Family is important. And that's it.
All right. So before we go into our sad list, I want to see if anybody on here want to share or elaborate or add to the conversation before we move on. Mic check.
Mic check. Tawanda, I'll add something. This is Hillary.
Sure,
I
thank
love
you.
how you talk about people showing up for one another. And I think absolutely when it comes to the police or the legal system, particularly those of us with white skin, can be very useful in showing up and watching and taking notes. But that's not the only system that we deal with that can be useful in. It can be useful at our kids' schools where parents sometimes don't feel empowered. It can be helpful in the medical systems that we have. Any of the systems that we deal with our government or, legislative, but also, the legal system, as well as educational and medical and other systems, it's important always to have someone with you, whether they're family by blood or family by choice, to stand with you, take note, and back you up, because by yourself, it's easy to get overwhelmed. So that's all I wanted to say. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check. Yeah, Hillary, I thank you for that. Everything she said is absolutely true. You definitely need someone to stand in the balance with you, because you can't balance it all by yourself. And trust and believe me, this system is so dirty. If you don't come with receipts, you don't have somebody showing up as the receipt, anything can go down dirty. Never like go into situations by yourself. And I just had the West Court, not just for only show up for Lottie. Right, I remember times where as though they done sat down in Brent Court where someone was getting evicted and they reached out to me and they said, hey, could you, y'all show up for me? And they showed up, so just no matter what you're going through, don't go through it alone. Like, do not go through it alone. I promise you, with somebody else, it's much easier, and as much balance than you just doing it by yourself. Like, literally, like, that to me is suffering in silence. And I know a lot of people are private. They don't want anybody in their business type of thing. But guess what, honey? In this world we live in, sometimes you have to put people in your business. You have to. Even if it's that one person that you could trust or whatever, but you have to have somebody be there with you. Do not suffer in silence. Please, I'm just like urging, no matter what you're going through, literally, don't do it alone. Like, we could do this, that, the third, but guess what? It's fact when you have somebody standing there with you, and just like say, even like Hillary said it, just being a note taker. Like, you may miss something, and they may pick up on it. They're like, oh, wait a minute, I don't remember. You might be like, dang, I forgot they said this, that, and the third. And then you're like, yeah, that's what they said. So, yeah. So just always having somebody being there with you, standing up, stepping out is always worth it. It's definitely always worth it. So, with that being said, I'm going to check in one more time to see if anybody want to add or say anything before I read our mission statement. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
I'm good, Tawanda.
Awesome. Okay. All right, guys. So I'm going to read the statement, and then we're going to take 2 minutes to stay in the solidarity for the families and for all the victims of police brutality and murder and community violence. And then, like, we know that everybody that get brutalized is not, that they don't always die. Like, more people survive than they are fatalities. So we stand in the gap for everybody. All right. Of the West Court work for accountability for Tyrone West and all the victims of police brutality. We believe that there is a connection between police brutality and community violence. Police can use de-escalation strategies to diffuse situations without necessarily using force. And we encourage community members to resolve disputes without violence. We care deeply about those families impacted by police brutality and community violence. We seek to uplift their names of their loved ones from a place of respect and care. We obtain these names of those shot and killed by the police and lost to community violence from national and local news outlets. We do not know, we know that these are no means of exhausted lists, and that gun violence isn't the only way that people are murdered. And we know that people that get brutalized don't always die. We do not obtain information about the circumstances surrounding each of these deaths or the people who died. By reading these names, we are not condoning violent behavior on the part of anyone involved in the situation. And I'll say that part again. We are not condoning violence on the part of anybody involved in the situation. So now the time appears to be 7:44. We will come back at 7:46 for our list. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
All right, good. Now it's 7:46, but I want in one final time to see if we had any additional questions or comments. Mic check.
Mic check.
So, Wanda, looking at the screen, there don't seem to be any additional comments. The last was mic check from Super Cardio.
Okay, cool. All righty, so all hearts and minds are clear and we can move on. So I'm handing it over. I believe Brother Brian said there was no names on the community analysis, but I'm not sure. I'm check.
That's correct.
Yeah.
He's off on a mini vacation, and it worked out that no one was killed by community violence in the recent period. So that's very good. I'll be doing the first half of the list of stolen lives taken by the police, and then Hillary will be doing the second half. So if we could repeat the names after me to uphold them and honor them, that'd be great. The first is in Chattanooga, Tennessee, on the 21st of this month. A man who is 38 years old, Eric Robertson.
Eric Robertson.
In Claremont, California, again on the 21st, a 46-year-old man, LaCoon Sisse.
LaCoon Sisse.
In Stark, Florida, on the 22nd, a man who was 39, Michael Crawford.
Michael Crawford.
In Haltom City, Texas, I believe I said the city right. I haven't heard of it before. Haltom City, Texas, on the 23rd, a 31-year-old man, Tyron Page.
Tyron
Page.
In Lorain, Ohio, on the 23rd, again, 28-year-old man, Michael Parker.
Michael Parker.
In Louisville, Texas, on the 24th, a woman who was 43 years old, Joanna Rogers.
Joanna Rogers.
And to conclude my part of the list this evening, in Kansas City, Missouri, on the 24th, a man who was 64 years old, Rodney Aubrey.
Rodney Aubrey.
And the rest of the list will be read to you by Hillary.
Okay. And again, as we're reading this, let's remember that each of these people have a community, a family, a world around them that are also suffering with this loss. So picking up where Bill left off, on the 24th in Wichita, Kansas, 19-year-old male, Nehemiah Fleming.
Nehemiah.
Fleming.
Also on the 24th, in Indianapolis, Indiana, 76-year-old male, Walter McNary.
Walter McNary.
Mary.
On the 26th, in DePere, Wisconsin, a male whose age is unknown and whose name is withheld by the police.
Cell blocks for killer cops.
Ashe.
Okay.
Ashe.
Also on the 26th, in New Braunfels, I think I said it right, Texas, a 33-year-old male whose name was also withheld by the police.
Cell blocks for killer cops. Ashe.
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 On the 26th, in Blue Lake, California, a male whose age is unknown and whose name was also withheld by the police.
Cell blocks for killer cops.
Ashe.
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 On the 27th, in Taylor Creek, Florida, a male whose age is unknown again and whose name again was withheld by the police.
Cell blocks for killer cops. Ashe.
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 Again on the 27th, in San Diego, California, 55-year-old male whose name was withheld by the police.
Cell
Cell
blocks
blocks for killer cops. Ashe.
And the
Ashe.
final one is another one where we don't have all the information. In Mesa, Arizona, on the 27th, another male whose age is unknown and whose name is withheld by the police.
Cell blocks for killer
cops. Ashe.
These
Ashe.
are a number of ones whose names were withheld. Hopefully, we'll be getting that information in the future. Back to you, Twanda.
Thank you. And I just want to thank everybody tonight for tuning in, joining in, showing love. Definitely appreciate you guys and all your support. And hopefully we'll be seeing you guys, coming soon out in the streets. I can't wait. But we will definitely see you guys next week, whether it be online or in person. So remember, live to love to live. I love you all. Cell blocks for killer cops. We can't stop. We won't stop until killer cops are in cell blocks. And as we brought you in with this video, please watch it to the end. And we will see you guys next West Wednesday. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
And Mr. West begging for his life. And Mr. Salam begging for his child to be excluded and comforted from what was taking place. Not for himself, but for his 3-year-old child.
Case number 4, Adina Britt and family, September 10th, 2015.
My name is Adina Britt, and I wanted to submit a 30-second testimonial that Jorge Omar Bernardez Ruiz is one of the 11 terrorists that came into my house performing a home invasion in September 2015, terrorizing my entire family and even holding my 12-year-old son at gunpoint. He needs to be stopped.
Case number 5, unidentified arrestee, assaulted in 2016.
I suggest you back the fuck up. No, why you
Again, this video did not surface until the summer of 2020. Case 6, Thomas McCullough, May 2016 and February 2017.
I heard my front door coming off the hinges like it exploded.
Thomas McCullough says it happened twice. In May 2016 and February 2017, Baltimore City Police burst through his green front door and raided his Pimlico home.
They said police. They come up, shotguns, guns.
He says officers ransacked the place, looking for drugs, money, and weapons. He took pictures of the damage he says they left behind.
Tell us where the drugs are, the scales, the guns, and the large amounts of money.
Nothing was found. Now he's suing police. claiming officers, including a former member of the gun trace task force, frightened him, his wife, and father-in-law when the officers conducted what his suit calls an illegal search of his home. The owner of the house tells 11 News after the second raid, he had to replace the front door. McCullough and his attorney say they want Baltimore police held accountable.
There is a colossal breach of trust.
And McCullough tells us following both raids, no one was arrested or charged.
This all begs the question, when will Baltimore City State's attorney see the prosecution of Bernardez Ruiz as warranted?
They were the stopping officers in these so-called jump-out cars, unmarked and so forth, that stopped both the West vehicle and the Salon vehicle without probable cause. And these officers are the ones that also were joined by others, but they are the ones who initiated the stops, pulled both men out of the vehicles, and commenced the vicious activity that was thrust upon them.
And the officer Ruiz that started this attack is still working with promotions. He is now sergeant. But the fact that this repeat violent offender had a history leading up to my brother. There was Darrell Harris, there was James Green, Joseph Green, Abdul Salam. No one family deserves to be brutally murdered or brutalized by this repeat violent offender Ruiz. It is time we take action. The time is now.
Baltimore police officer Jorge Bernardez Ruiz is a repeat violent offender. Based on these accounts, in accordance with the law, we, the West Coalition, call for him to be fired, prosecuted, and incarcerated.
We're more than hashtags and body bags. We're more than being 6 feet in the dirt and pictures and buttons on t-shirts. Our lives matter.
For the safety of our city, the prevention of further harm, and the justice for these families, we see no other option.
And again, I'll say, the time is now.